had their eye on somebody that they had obviously a relationship with from his playing days who just come off a national championship. So that goes there. Then when you look at Seattle, they just came off somebody's grandfather. They don't want another grandfather. I mean, they want to go young. So they decided to go young.
Yes, young guest.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
They took the youngest coach.
And
they went
the
from
youngest,
72 to 36-year-old.
Very young, so they went young in Seattle and said, okay.
Yeah.
Then when you look at Washington, they don't really have a quarterback, even though they have the number 2 overall pick. He was talking to them. Some people in the organization wanted him.
Yeah.
That didn't work out. That goes to somebody else. Now you look at the Raiders. That was already set. That was AP was most likely going to get that job because the players wanted AP. And you
although Tom is a minority owner and has some input there, so you would think, okay, are you going to think about it, right?
Yeah, but they just did that.
Yeah.
They did that with Bill Jr. in McDaniel. Right. So you don't want to do that again.
And it was disaster.
The players got in the locker room. New England became, and then the Tennessee Titans. You think he really wanted that job? You think he didn't tell him, I'm so glad I want to deal with those. They thought Vrabel was a problem in the building. Imagine what Bill would have been in the building. And Ron Carthon, dad played for Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells in their Giant days, and also coached with us at the New York Jets. So they all know each other. There wasn't a perfect situation, so to speak, other than, in my opinion, the Charger job. But that went to Harbaugh. So the next cycle, if he gets a job, okay. If he doesn't, then we can start having that conversation about people a certain way. But there wasn't anything on the block.
So, Keyshawn, did the Chargers make a mistake?
No.
No?
No, not at all. No. Not at all.
Because you love Bill Belichick.
I would hire him tomorrow. But I also would look at Jim Harbaugh. How could you not? Jim Harbaugh's gone to a Super Bowl. He's gone to the NFC Championship game. His track record speaks that programs that are down, he's been able to take over and lift them up. He comes in there in a losing proposition, and when he leaves, they're in much better situation. In his first year, all his stops, they've added win totals to the column and not losses. So it's like,
how do you like your burger, Green? Well done, please. I don't know if you can take those guys and cover the spread. The weather gets cold and they crumble.
Yeah, not everyone can handle the elements. You know, I've never really bought into all that cold weather stuff.
Really, Greeny? I'm always taking the cold weather teams, especially in the playoffs. You feel me? The great ones tough it out, regardless of the weather. Hey, Greeny, these your mittens? Oh, yes, thank you.
they've added win totals to the column and not losses. So it's like, you look at those two. Now, we don't know what the end product is going to be at the Chargers. Okay, we assume that he's going to eventually get to a Super Bowl. I'm a betting man. I think he will. Yeah. And I think eventually with Justin Herbert, he could potentially win a Super Bowl. I understand the greatest coach to ever do it can't get a job in this cycle. But was there anything really perfect for him?
Well, the Chargers were. They were perfect.
But it was more perfect. Right. It was more perfect for Harbaugh.
Okay, but if you think Bill Belichick's the greatest coach ever, then I assume you think he's a little better than Jim Harbaugh, right?
Yeah, but even though he's the greatest coach ever, even Tom Brady said it, okay? You have to align yourself with people, as I continue to keep trying to tell you, Skip. Everything has to align. The relationship is the Chargers. His language may not speak to them. Their language may not speak to him, but it does to Harbaugh. They may have a different vision of where things going. Bill may say, hey, let's be patient here. And Harbaugh comes in and says, we're doing it right now. They may like the right now. Where Bill said, well, you guys want to relax. I don't know that conversation, but I can assure you that they picked the right guy because that's who they wanted in Harbaugh.
Okay. Go, Mike.
Let me say, these are two guys that I just absolutely love and adore. Looking at from afar or getting a chance to be anywhere in any one of their presence. You know, these are just different guys, man, when you're around them. So I love Bill and I love Tom. I love that Tom is throwing this life raft towards Bill right now because, Tom, you're the one that started the boat leaking. You see what I mean? He's the one that started the boat leaking. When Tom talked about all that he was talking about, I'm just not having any fun anymore, and left. And he left. And when he left, and the stain of what was going on, Bill's too hard on people. The great Tom Brady has just left. The last two decisions Bill has made on the quarterbacks is what gets him in this situation right now. I hear what Tom is saying now, Tom Brady Jr. I heard what Tom Brady Sr. said earlier.
So did I.
Bill messed us over. Bill let us go too early, and we left here saying we going to show you that we are still a good enough quarterback. Robert Kraft said it. Man, Bill got me with this. Bill got me. We gotten rid of Tom a year too early. He goes and wins a Super Bowl. The last two decisions at quarterback. And then he brings in Mac Jones. And we've seen what has happened.
Bro, why the fuck does the goddamn video keep turning off? I'm trying to record everything. It's throwing down the phone.
So recently, the Las Vegas Raiders officially moved on from their franchise quarterback of 9 years in Derek Carr and have most likely begun yet another rebuilding phase, officially marking the end of an era for the Raiders. And for a Raiders fan like myself, who has been unlucky enough to be a first-hand spectator of this slow-motion collapse over the last couple of years, unfortunately that makes me pretty qualified to explain the ups, the downs, and the John Gruden that led to the current iteration of the Las Vegas Raiders we see today. So, with the Raiders finding themselves in almost the exact situation as to when they started this miserable journey under Carr, it's time to whip out the ye old magnifying glass to take a closer look at how one singular organization could continually screw up at every possible corner to ruin any chance of contention under their once great quarterback. Now, our journey begins in the year 2013, right in the middle of the dark ages for the Raiders. And when I say dark ages, my God, I mean it. Because this was a Raiders team coached by the great Dennis Allen that went 4-12 and was quarterbacked by a combination of Matt McGloin and future wide receiver Terrell Pryor. And if you don't trust stats like this one showing that these two were some of the worst quarterbacks the league had to offer, then maybe you'll believe me when I say this was not a fun year to be a fan of the old silver and black. Simply put, this Raiders